All right, so we are talking about power of a power, and like I said at the beginning, this is just when we multiply powers together. It is on your star chart. I think it's pretty simple as well, but I wanted to at least give you enough to like go over and kind of work through it. So, taking a look at it here, we've got 3x to the fourth squared. Now, here's the biggest thing that you have to remember. When you have something in a parentheses like this, the numbers in the parentheses includes everything. So what I mean by that is if there are multiple numbers in here, you have to distribute that 2 to everything in there. Like this. It's going to become 3 squared, and x to the 4 times 2, which is 8. So if I rewrite this, we're going to have 3 squared, x to the 4 times 2 is 8. So Bennett, I understand exactly what you're doing. You tried to square that number. All we're doing is multiplying these two. Now here's why this becomes 3 squared. What number, imaginary number, is technically above that 3? We just talked about it when we graded our homework. A 1, right? And don't we agree that 2 times 1 is 2? Okay? And so now 3 squared is going to give me 9. X to the 8 stays there. And my answer is 9x to the 8.
That's a lot simpler than I thought it would be.
Okay? Easy enough there?
That 3 is going to get squared.
Yeah. So do you notice how in this parentheses, Ben, I have 3 times x to the 4th? So what that really means is I have 2 separate numbers. I have the 3 and I have the x to the 4th. But I have to distribute the 2 to the 3 and the 2 to the x to the 4th. And so when I end up with 3 squared, I can solve 3 squared because it gives me 9. I don't know what x is, which means I cannot simplify that. It just stays x to the 8th.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, what's up, Connor?
Okay, so since 9 and x are being multiplied together, once you found out what x is, would you multiply 9 by x?
If we did, but there's no way to find out what x is because there's no equal sign. And therefore, without there being an equal sign, I can't move things around to isolate it.
Okay.
All right, so over here, I've got to distribute this 2 to the negative 5 and to the 3 here. Okay? Well, what imaginary number is attached to that negative 5? So negative 5 is going to go to the what power? Second power. And x is going to go to the what?
6.
Are we good there? All right, now, I want you to hear this because we're still going to make this mistake. Negative 5 times negative 5 is going to produce a positive answer. In your calculator, if you do negative 5 times negative 5, it's going to give you a negative answer. Remember we talked about this. You have to put it in parentheses, or you just have to be willing to remember that a negative times a negative creates a positive. But if you put negative 25 up there, the answer is going to be wrong. Do you understand that? Okay. So the final answer for this one's going to be 25 x to the 6th. We're good there? All right, number 3. Anybody want to take a guess on that one for me? Connor, what do you think?
4 squared and
Okay.
x squared.
Part of that's right.
Oh, wait, no, 4 squared and x to the 4th.
Yeah, good. 4 squared and x to the 4th. Now, can I do more to this problem, though? Can I simplify it even further?
Yes.
JT, what do you think it's going to be? Yeah. 16 x to the 4th. Pretty straightforward, right? All right, cool. All right, let's keep going. Try number 20 on your own. Just give it a whirl. Colin, what do you think?
25x to the x squared.
25 x squared. Everybody okay with that one? All right, y'all. Now we're going to start adding in a little bit more. We're going to start incorporating some more work here. Okay. Before you panic on this one, we're going to do the same exact process we've been doing. Negative 2 to the 3rd power. What is 0 times 3?
0.
That's not changing. That's the same thing we've been doing. So now I end up with x to the 0th power, which really becomes what? 1. What is negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2?
Negative 8.
Negative 8. Negative 2 times negative 2 gives me a positive 4. Can we all agree with that? positive 4 times a negative 2 gives me a negative 8. Then I have a negative 8 times 1, which is just negative 8. We're all good there? All right, awesome. How about over here? I only have one digit in there. What are you thinking?
Well, I still have a question.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's just -8 with no x in it?
Well, x to the 0 becomes 1. It just disappears. So therefore, it doesn't exist anymore. It's literally just 1. Okay?
Wait, so if you multiply 3 negatives, it's gonna be a negative? No.
3. On this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so negative 2 to the third, just a little side note here, is really negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Well, negative 2 times negative 2 gives me a positive 4, times a negative 2 gives me a negative 8.
Okay.
Yeah, Steven,
Are we adding or subtracting that negative one? I mean that one.
this one? We're multiplying,
Oh, okay.
because there's no operation between them, so therefore we know it has to be multiplying. Cool? All right, over here, what do you think this one's going to be? Connor?
Negative x to the 6th.
Negative x to the 6th. Now, this one, we could get into the semantics of like, well, it's negative x times negative x times negative x times negative x. But since we don't know what x is, I just want you to leave it as a negative x, okay? If we knew what x was, then we could obviously try to get rid of that negative. But I don't know what it is, and therefore I just want to leave it at that. All right, 23, I'm going to get 9x to the 6th. Does anybody disagree with that statement? And then finally, for 24, I'm going to end up with 64x squared. Everybody feels good with those? All right, let's go to our assignment. Let's take a look at them. So today you're doing the same paper. It's in Wednesdays though. Like, don't worry about trying to go back to yesterday's. But today we're going to do questions 16 through 30. 16 through 30. So 1 through 15 you did last night. Now today we're doing 16 through 30. Stop writing so hard. All right, 16. Pretty straightforward. We're going to take the 3 here, and we're going to distribute it out. So if I distribute it out, I'm going to end up with 3 to the 3rd, y to the 9th. Are we all okay with how I got to that spot? Okay, well, 3 to the 3rd is 3 times 3, which is 9. 9 times 3, which is 27. And so I end up with 27 y to the 9th. Are we okay there? Any questions on that one? Let's go to 17. Now notice that we've now gone from 2 numbers in the parentheses to 3. Does everybody see that? And because of that, we want to distribute the 3 to all 3 of them. So I'm going to end up with 3 to the 3rd, x to the 6th, y to the 6th. Am I done with this problem? Why? 3 to, good. 3 to the 3rd can become 27, x to the 6th, y to the 6th. And then you're done. Okay, we all feel pretty good about that? Hey, drop down to 22 with me for just a second. I think this is the last one I need to do with you, 22. I'm distributing out that 0. Can we all agree with that? So watch what's going to happen. I'm going to end up with 3 to the 0, x to the 0, y to the 0. Well, 3 to the 0 is what? X to the 0 is what? 1. Y to the 0 is what? What's 1 times 1 times 1? 1's your answer. Okay? All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stop my recording.